Alright, so today we're going to do some Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls is basically the precursor to the Dark Souls series. And it's not on PC because I think some sort of copyright thing, and even if they did re-release it, it would still have to be like on PlayStation. So
King Allant XII, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom of Boletaria. That is, until the colorless deep fog swept across the land. Boletaria was cut off from the outside world, and those who dared penetrate the deep fog never returned. But Valarfax of the royal Twin Fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. That the old King Allant had aroused the Old One, the great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber, and that a colorless fog had swept in, unleashing terrible demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls. Those who lose their souls also lose their minds. The mad attack the sane, and chaos reigns. Valarfax spoke of the enticing power of the demon souls. Each time a demon claims a human soul, the demon's own soul is invigorated by the life force, and the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination. The legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors were drawn to the accursed land, but none have returned. Bjor of the Twin Fangs, Yurt the Silent Chief, Sage Urbane, Skurver the Wanderer, the Sixth Saint Astraea and her knight Garl Vinland, and Sage Frake the Visionary. The colorless deep fog slowly creeps beyond Boletaria's borders. Humankind faces a slow and steady extinction. The deep fog will eventually swallow all lands, near and far. But Boletaria has one final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the land found its savior? Or have the demons found a new slave?
alright, so we're going to do the tutorial mission here.
Brave soul who fears not death. I shall guide you. So that you may lull the old one back to slumber.
Alright, so mechanically this game is very similar to all the Dark Souls games. Pretty much the same sort of gist. I'm playing this on a PS3 emulator on the computer, so the performance isn't the best, but it's functional. Although sometimes the stuff likes to crash, so I may have to be doing some careful editing to hopefully work around crashes. Sometimes it'll also do that, it'll just hesitate and load. And that's because I believe the shader cache, it's not a actual file, so it sometimes has to do it on the fly. Or shader cache, not cache. I picked the Royal class because from what I understand, this class is the best for doing magic builds. I've played through about half the game so far with a kind of a hybrid build, but for the sake of like a YouTube series, magic is supposed to be incredibly powerful and the game doesn't perform particularly well. And I'm kind of more interested in like exploring the world than I am in getting really nitty gritty with all the combat. And I can tell this character is doing less damage than the other starting class. Although I do have, let me see. Oh, they put the catalyst in the right hand. Whoops. Let's go ahead and change that real quick. The catalyst does expand our mana pool too, which is nice. So the way this also all the load screens will show various characters, NPCs, invaders that you might interact with in the world, which is kind of neat. The end of the tutorial has a boss that you're pretty much meant to die to. It will kill you in one hit. But it's possible to kill it, and you do get like a nice little minor reward starting out if you do. I'm not sure if I'll be able to kill it with this character, because I'm not doing a ton of damage, but we'll see. There we go. That was a little bit irritating. So the healing mechanic in this game, you have all these different grasses that you can find throughout the world, get off of enemies and buy. And they heal for varying amounts of health. There's no Estus mechanic. So in some ways I prefer it over Estus, but you know, it's different. I think Dark Souls 2 had the right idea. They sort of had a hybrid healing scheme where they had the Estus flask, which was guaranteed to recharge every time you rested. But they also had the consumable health items, which is what these grasses are. They're all consumables. So theoretically, if you're having a hard time, you might run out of healing items. And then you might be kind of stuck, and you have to go and farm to get more, which isn't ideal. This rapier is actually not bad. I'll bet it's pretty good once you upgrade it. The rapier's always been pretty consistently decent in Dark Souls, especially for counterattacking. Alright, the shield's not going to matter in this fight, so... Uh-oh. 12 damage per hit, holy shit. 18. The magic is doing really good damage though, surprisingly good. Ah, dodged too early there. That's too bad. That's fine though. The rewards weren't particularly substantial at the end. It was just a cool little scene.
Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
So this is the Nexus, which is the central hub, sort of safe area.
This is the Nexus. It holds together the northern land of Boletaria. Thou canst not exit the Nexus, but each of the 5 archstones will connect.
Alright. So when you die, instead of going hollow, you become a phantom like this. You can see the faint aura around the character. You will find some items that can recover your humanity, and killing bosses does it too. And the health bar in the top left up there, you might be able to see, is at half. So that really sucks. But anyway, this is the Nexus, and I think it's probably tied for Firelink Shrine as my favorite hub in a Souls game. I haven't played Bloodborne though, so I could be missing something. But the Nexus kind of feels like what Dark Souls 3 was going for, but better. It's bigger, it looks cooler, it's, you know, just better atmosphere overall. The reason I put Firelink Shrine in there is just because I love the music in Firelink Shrine so much. So we can talk to some of our NPCs here.
I'm Stockpile Thomas. When the Scourge came, I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, I found myself here, in the Nexus. My wife and daughter fell victim to the demons. But I would be worthless in battle. At the very least, I hope to lend my assistance to you brave slayers of demons. I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage.
Alright, so there is an item load mechanic as well as an equipment load mechanic.
When the Scourge came, I abandoned my wife and daughter and fled like a madman. When I came to, I was in the Nexus. I haven't dared venture outside these walls since. I wish I could do more, but I am ignorant of the world beyond these walls.
So we can deposit things in this guy's inventory
Best of luck to you.
if we get too overburdened. Let's see, so yeah, equip burden in the middle there, 9 out of 37. Item burden, 11 out of 86. Here's the blacksmith.
You new here? Do you hear from our services? My name's Baldwin. Just an ordinary blacksmith. It's simple. Just bring me all the souls you can. In trade, I'll give you weapons, or forge ones you already have. With your souls, I can eke out a living. And with my weapons, you can go on living. Not a bad deal, huh? No interest, eh? I can tell you're not gonna last long here.
So the weapon upgrade system is kind of like in Dark Souls 1. There's honestly too many different types of upgrade materials and paths that you can take your weapons down.
Well, you slipped through the fissure too, did you? You came for demon souls? Or to save this land and be remembered as a hero? Hunting for demons? Try one of the Archstones. Now go. That is why you came, is it not? To this accursed Boletaria.
Okay, so for now, the only thing that remains is to begin progressing through the game. We have all these Archstones that will teleport us to various locations. So you do have warping right off the bat in this game, kind of like in Dark Souls 3. But we don't unlock the other Archstones until we kill, I believe, the first boss. But then from there, we can progress the game in a very non-linear fashion, just jumping in and out of all these different worlds. So it's a little bit different than Dark Souls 3, where you had to sort of progress through before you could get to some areas. Alright. All of this feels very familiar for Souls stuff. Just all these little walls that enemies hide behind. Also, I guess to comment on a few more things, we have health, stamina, and magic. So that's how Dark Souls 3 did it as well. So instead of having a set number of times you can cast a memorized spell, it's just all up to your magic bar, which you can replenish. And my stamina's a little bit lower than I'm used to on this guy, so... And that attack right there is very reminiscent of the Hollow Soldiers in Dark Souls 2. Man, I'm getting beat up by these guys. That jump attack is really getting me. But yeah, magic is just so good. And not having the limited number of spells, and instead using a mana system, it makes the already awesome magic just so much better, because you can just keep doing it forever. It's very easy to acquire mana replenishment items. Don't think we want to go down there. Most of the enemies will drop healing items from time to time, which is always nice. And you can see they're giving very little in the way of souls. Just checking fire bombs. Alright, game crashed there, so went ahead and fixed it. If an area starts crashing a lot too, there's another graphics setting that I can use that will slow down performance a little bit, but it's typically more stable. I was just hoping I could mostly use this one and just deal with the crashes as they come. Jeez. Torch guy. Yeah, magic is just too good. Well, that's a little bit familiar. This just dead ends out to a locked gate with a red-eyed guy guarding it, and the red-eyed guy is very tough, so I'd really rather not deal with him right now because I'm sure he could probably one-shot me. I'm going to go ahead and go down this way, open up a shortcut, and then I'll probably level up my character, and that'll be good for this video. I can show leveling up. Yeah. So this stairwell down has all these torch wielding guys who will ignite these explosive powder kegs with their torches. So it's really good to be able to maintain a distance. It's really funny in this game, there are so many things that they oftentimes either modified or just copy-pasted over to the various Dark Souls. Like the cutting the ropes and then stuff drops down somewhere else. God, magic is so strong. Okay, this is the Cling Ring. And this means that instead of being at half health, we're now at 3/4 health. Also, one of the interesting things about this game is that some of the armor is gendered. So, the wizard's clothes, right underneath the name, it says unisex, whereas this old ragged robe, it's female only. And I've noticed on my first playthrough that all of the gendered clothing seemed to be female only. I don't think I saw any male only clothing. I might just not have caught it since I was playing a male character, but this is truly ugly. Let's see what the description has to say about it. Robe made of layers of rabbit fabric. It's covered with tears, unsightly open seams, and numerous unsightly insects wriggling within it. No sane person would wear something like this. Yeah, let's go back to our wizard stuff. So it's basically each archstone, there's 5 of them, is divided into like, I want to say 3 or 4 different areas, and they each have their own little waypoint. But there are no intermediate save points within an area, so instead what'll usually happen is you'll find various shortcuts. And actually I can't level up just yet, I have to kill the first boss before I do that, I forgot about it.
Then, may I ask you a favor? Would you mind giving up that hairpin?
I accidentally skipped that dialogue.
Memory of my
Yeah, the
daughter.
hairpin that I found is his daughter's.
You're a saint. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I mustn't forget. It's not much, but please accept this as thanks. I'm a bit ashamed to say, but I found it one day, discarded on the main road. But it seems to possess a strange power. Anyway, I feel that you should have it. It will be happier in your hands.
Ring of Herculean Strength.
I would be happy to lighten your load.
Alright. And this raises maximum item burden, that ring that he just gave us. Not to be mistaken with maximum equipment burden. So the ring allows us to carry more stuff in the inventory, but it won't allow us to equip more
Rest
things.
assured, your goods are safe and sound with me. Best of luck to you. Wait, where are you going?
So yeah, that's a good leaving off place for the first little bit.